terms of meal prices, and not necessarily like meatloaf versus spaghetti, but maybe over the course of a month, if there were a way to
Okay.
money
We
in,
can try
money
to
out.
we can try to do that.
I think just the food costs, you could see at
Right,
least that.
yeah,
I mean,
And
even
it's
looking at the
almost
food-
even if we
one
didn't
for one
factor
right now.
in,
Yeah, I mean, we're a little over what
even
we
if we didn't
budgeted.
factor in labor into it, just food cost alone.
Yeah, so at 9:30, we were already over what we had
Budgeted
budgeted
for.
and what we had brought in. So I imagine that will continue the trajectory up and will end higher than the revenue we brought in.
Right, because
Which is
food
what-
cost certainly goes up every year.
Well,
So
certainly
at
lately,
this
yes.
time in
It's
the
gone
year, we are at, as of 10/31, we're at 37,000, I'm gonna say approximately 37,700 in meal costs. That's what people pay for the meals, and we have spent,
You're saying 37,000 revenue.
correct, I'm sorry, I
Okay.
didn't say that more
Yeah.
clearly. And then
Right.
food expense is at, the expenses for the food are at 40,700.
So, yeah, we're,
Yeah. So I suppose if food prices don't go up a similar 20%, then you might get closer, we might get closer to breaking even on that for
Yeah.
next year.
Correct.
Okay.
I think just asking $2 for outside people is way too much.
$2
That's, yeah, you've gone from 4
To 6, okay. I see
you've
what you're
gone
saying.
from 4 to 6.
but we're not
It's going-
asking outside people.
It's going
It's
5 to
less,
6.
it's less than 55.
When we got the kitchen, the only reason we got the money, Ryan was there, Judy was there with us.
I was there.
because you was there. We had outside people we were feeding, and we weren't charging extra.
No, I understand that.
We
I
still
think
are.
this amount is for people that are under 55.
The
Oh,
$6.
just under 55.
Correct.
Yeah.
Non-seniors.
Correct.
So everybody.
Not for people that
you're
live
talking
outside of
everybody would
Bath.
be
We're talking,
$5 then. You're
Yes.
we're
both
talking
$1.
senior versus non-senior.
Okay, I got you.
And I'm sorry I wasn't more clear on that.
So
Yeah,
we're
I
subsidizing
understand
seniors,
what
because
you're
that's the
saying now.
point of what we're
Correct,
doing.
yeah. So it's the younger people that might get the meals.
What if a grandmother brings their grandkids in on a day that there's no school, and they bring, because they want them to see where they go, which they used to do a lot. I don't know whether they do now or not, but I don't think we should charge kids $6.
I mean, she couldn't take them to McDonald's for probably
Yeah, I mean,
less than
$6 is
$6, to be honest.
It's, I don't know, to me, it's wrong, but
Okay.
that's just my opinion.
How does the portioning work? Like, is the kid getting the same portion
Yes.
as an adult?
Correct.
Yeah, then I think that makes it a little bit more fair. I hear what you're saying, but if it's the same amount of food.
I'll tell you, if my son went in there to eat with his grandparents,
Yeah, but most of
he'd
these
eat
kids.
double or triple what the senior would eat. So I'm sorry, $6 is cheap to feed my kid. I'd pay it.
I bet your kids.
Most of these kids that are
Concur.
being brought in are 5 and 6 years old.
Yeah,
And,
They still come.
yeah, they,
and they, still come.
and I don't know how Linda charges them. Does she charge them just the senior meal price? I'm not for sure
They
how
have
she
been
does it.
charging them just $4.
Okay, so the same price right now
Yeah,
as everything else.
everybody except the people under 55 that were,
Yep,
if somebody would come that,
me, when I
was
order a,
54 and a half.
yeah, when I order a meal, I pay this $5.
And I don't know how the finance committee feels. Is there an appetite for increasing the one cost to $5 from 4 and just not having a separate cost? I don't know how you
Easier.
feel about that.
It'd be easier than,
You're saying a flat rate of 5 regardless of who.
For everybody, because currently we have the flat rate of 4, so flat rate of 5.
Would that increase or decrease this number?
It would decrease it a little
It
bit.
decrease it a
Yeah.
little bit.
Honestly, I don't,
But I would
5 and
think
6 are fine with me.
most of the people who eat there fall under the $5 rate anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a statement that we're offering this for the seniors, and that's its intention. It isn't meant to be a
Money
kids
maker.
feeding ground either.
No.
Not that kids aren't welcome, but also like that's
Right.
not the intention. We have other programming for kids.
Yeah, but there's not if the school isn't open.
But also, we're not open if the school isn't open.
If it's an unexpected
Yeah,
not
if they have
open.
a
Christmas break.
Easter or something like that,
Oh, I see what you mean, a holiday.
a winter
I
holiday.
thought you meant like
that
school,
they're
like
not
school
there.
days, like a
Like this
winter-
past Friday,
Yeah.
there was no school. In my mind, that would be a planned event, so you would have been able to plan to bring your kids there. It wouldn't have happened unexpectedly, as opposed to a snow day.
Yeah,
But a snow day, we're not open.
Right,
When the
so
school's
that's-
closed, we're closed.
It's a moot point there.
I'm hearing varied opinions, so I'm just looking for some consensus.
I support the changes written here.
So any resident or non-resident over 55 would get $5. Any resident or non-resident under 55 would get $6.
except for
Straight.
children. I don't
No,
think we
this
should
would
be
include
charging
children is the
children
proposal.
$6,
No, it would be, oh, I see.
because they are under
Yeah, but what,
55.
well, I mean, what do you consider a child, though? I mean, a teenager, I mean, anybody under 18, I
Well,
mean,
most usually, they're not teenagers that
I mean,
come here.
I know, but that's what, I mean,
But we
children
have to set a
are.
policy.
Yeah, if you're gonna
Yeah,
set a
I know.
policy, this is gonna be a policy,
Yeah,
because it's, we've never had this come up. I mean,
oh, we've had it many times.
where you've talked about children.
Or we talk about raising the price to outside people and, I know the first 4 years, we discussed it a lot.
I mean, you could have a 12 and
My first
under.
4 years.
I don't know what your appetite is, so.
I would just offer, again, big picture thinking that, somebody used the term earlier, subsidized, like the idea of the senior services center being the place where one goes to receive this meal at a reduced rate is, it makes sense in the model. And it makes it easier to defend the distinctions in ages, because historically, right, we aren't supposed to have distinctions in ages and service and costs provided. I worry a little that we undermine that if we alter to provide a minor's rate. And I'm not saying that it is unlawful, I am saying it is one more piece that maybe moves the needle, so I'm raising that for the board's consideration.
I would rather see us raise it 25 cents a year than to go 4 years and then raise it $1.
So if it hasn't been raised since 2021, you're looking at
Yeah. Yeah, I
a
know.
quarter a year.
And we dropped it down at that time when you and me talked about it and made everybody $4.
When you reopened in 21? Okay. So you lowered it back in 21 from what it was in 19 before COVID?
Before COVID, yeah.
Okay.
To the one price, for everyone.
So
To the
instead of the
outside people.
450,
Previously, it had been
Okay.
a separate price.
Are you saying you'd
for
rather
residents and
see it?
non-residents, it was different?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So if you were a non-resident, you paid the higher cost, and if you were under 55, you paid the higher cost.
Okay, so this way it's easier if it's,
It's a lot easier to have it all one price
Okay.
for the girls taking